Yes. Commissioner Matsuno. Okay, if you can unmute, if you don't mind unmuting and then just confirming here.
Down in the left corner.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. And Commissioner Riddams, absent. Commissioner Penner-More, Commissioner McNerney, Commissioner Jackson,
Here.
Commissioner Morse,
I'm here.
and Chair Caldwell.
Here.
Thank you.
And while I have not had an opportunity to witness any of the previous Redondo Beach Commission meetings, the next item on our agenda is a salute to the flag. And if everybody could place their hand over their heart and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag.
United States of America,
And
to the republic
For which it stands,
nation,
one
under
nation,
God,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
liberty, justice.
with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Obviously, city staff is well prepared for these virtual meetings. Probably have a few under your belt. So the next item on our agenda is to approve the order of the agenda. Were there any recommended changes? Hearing none. We shall move forward with our consent calendar. There are 3 items on the consent calendar. Items number E1, E2, and E3. If there's a commissioner that would like to approve the consent calendar as a whole, please let me know with a motion. Otherwise, we'll proceed with each individual item.
I'll move to approve the consent calendar.
I second that.
With the first and the second.
I second that.
Will we do a roll call vote here?
Yes.
Yes, Chair. So actually, if you can call out each commissioner that's here and then just ask for their vote.
Right. Commissioner, let's see, I apologize. Commissioner David Jackson,
yes, I approve it.
Commissioner Benjamin Morse,
Approve.
Commissioner Jeff Matsuno,
Aye.
and I will vote yes as the chair.
Double.
Yeah, we're good. It's good because this is YouTube.
So what am I doing wrong?
I don't know.
Why am I, but look, I have feedback. Listen.
Oh, you have 2 things going.
Oh, this is the,
I apologize for
I
that.
muted her. Okay, I muted her. Yeah, the clerks. She was
Vicky.
talking to someone in the background. So, okay. So, but it sounds like the motion on the consent calendar passed to approve. So you can move forward now.
Thank you very much. So the next item that we have is public participation on non-agenda items. There is one item, F1, written public comments for the Preservation Commission meeting of September 2nd, 2020 regarding non-agenda items. Has staff received any written comments?
No, staff did not receive any written comments. So this was a placeholder item, but we did not receive any.
Okay. Moving forward, excluded consent calendar items. Are there any items that staff has received?
Oh,
There are no other items.
Moving forward, ex parte communication. This section is intended to allow all officials the opportunity to reveal any disclosure or ex parte communication about the following public hearings. Do any of the commissioners have anything to report?
no.
I do not as well. Then we shall move forward with our public hearings. Will all those individuals who are participating electronically who wish to provide testimony with respect to public hearing items on the agenda this evening raise their hand electronically and take the following oath. And staff, Stacy, should I just read through this? And is there a process in which the participants will review this or take the oath?
So I suggest that the individuals who wish to speak unmute themselves. They actually raise their hand, listen to what you're going to say, and then they hopefully positively respond.
Thank you very much. So for those of you who plan to participate or provide testimony, I will read the oath, and then if you could positively affirm. Do each of you swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
I do.
Thank you very much. This is the time and place to conduct a public hearing to consider several items on the agenda. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll move we open the public hearing.
A second.
A motion and a second have been made to open the public hearing. Are there any objections? Hearing none, so ordered. For this first item, is there a staff report?
I'm having the staff report tonight. So this first item is landmark designation consideration by the Preservation Commission. The address is 709 South Broadway. The applicants are Brian and Jennifer Rush. This may be a little familiar to the commission as they did review a certificate of appropriateness for an addition to the rear half of this building earlier this year. Let me see, I'm stuck. Hoping everybody can see this. So can everybody see this? Yes.
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 Thank you. So the first owner is listed as Fred Zarsky, and he was the person that pulled the permits for this house back in 1923. After he built the house, he pulled a second permit for the garage that's in the back there. Originally, it was actually recorded in the local paper, the evaluation for these. It was kind of a big deal. There was a lot of permits that were being issued, so there was a mini building boom. And it was actually, like I said, listed in the paper when they did the house, the garage, and then in 1930 when they did the addition. So those are the three records that we have on file for the origins of the house. Again, there was a more recent certificate of appropriateness that was approved by the commission. Those plans are in plan check. The applicant is available as well as the designer, who can probably speak to how far along they are in the process. But I know that that's moving along pretty quickly, as far as I could tell. So they're anticipating starting construction, I would imagine, pretty soon. The property itself is a B-rated historical resource. It says that on the survey, on our 86 survey, that it's eligible for National Register listing. And I think it's based on the architecture. It is a pretty good example of kind of a hybrid style of architecture, which is colonial revival and craftsman. And I'll show you a couple of details here coming up shortly. The property is in line with three other properties, and so they can make up a potential historic district. This, along with the two craftsman homes that are next to it, and there's another which would be classified as a colonial revival structure next to the one craftsman on the left. Again, it has elements of two different styles of architecture. One is the craftsman, which it's listed as, and that's primarily because of the wood siding, the wide frames around the fenestration, the doors and windows, which are very typical of a craftsman style house. But it also has these colonial revival style touches to the house, which is that partial front porch covering. Typically a craftsman style house, the high design for craftsman was a full facade porch. This doesn't have the full length of the porch covered. It's only a partial porch covering. And it has a symmetrical facade, which is also more typical with the colonial revival style homes. They have windows that flank the porch, as well as the porch columns, which kind of set up that front facade, which is very, very symmetrical. The roof design, the roof form is a gable roof with some clipped ends and box eaves with returns, and that's shown here in the detail. I don't know if you'll be able to see my mouse, but kind of runs along here. These are the eaves, which are boxed in with the returns. Has a little vent for the attic there. Again, this is the wood surrounds around the windows. The front facade, again, symmetrical. It's got the clipped gable ends here. And again, it's got the wood surrounds and the returns, the columns, which define that front facade, and the two flanking windows. You can see those here too. So it's a pretty good representative design. There was an addition, again, in the 1930s that was added to the back, but it carried through some of those original elements like the wood siding and some of the same materials from before. Now, we're primarily looking at is what you see from the public right-of-way, and so I had taken these pictures and I thought this was pretty representative of the house.
Antonio, are these the same pictures that were sent out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, with the exception of the picture that's in the front, which I'll show you that real quick. This is a more recent picture that Stacy took that was more in the evening. But these were the ones that were sent out in the blue folder item.
Okay.
Again, this property does contribute to a potential historic district. There's the other, the row of three like typical craftsman homes. This one again is a kind of a hybrid design. There's the two houses that flank this at 707 and 711 South Broadway, which are more the typical of the craftsman style. And then there's a colonial revival style house at 713 South Broadway. It's not listed in the survey. It doesn't have a rating. Of the same era of building and the same styles that were being designed at the time and built at the time. And you can see this is one picture showing the two craftsmen. These are A and B rated craftsmen. This is again the one on the right side is more typical with a very long eaves, with the brackets and the porch, which is the full front facade. That's very typical there. You can see that again. And then this one on this side, again, it's an asymmetrical front facade, full porch covering in the front. So these are what you would see more as your typical craftsman style homes. This one again is kind of a hybrid design. The house immediately to the left of this house is that other colonial revival style house. So in line with all these other homes, definitely a potential historic district. We already have, the one A-rated structure, these two B-rated structures. This last one hasn't been fully analyzed, but I could see that also being a contributor to this district.
So none of the other neighboring structures are landmarked yet?
Well, I'd have to recall, but I don't think they are. They're A-rated and B-rated structures, but I don't think they've got landmark status as of yet.
The A-rated one is the one to the right?
Yes.
Okay.
But you could tell that's like the high mark of the craftsman style design. And it looks fairly intact for the most part. I mean, just to the untrained kind of eye, just kind of glancing at it, you can see that a lot of it is in place.
Antonio, did you happen to look up anything historically on that one that you said also had appearance of being similar?
Yes, I did look briefly at it. I think it will require a little bit more research, more in-depth research. It's not listed on the survey, which was really surprising to me. But definitely, I think it could be listed as a contributor for sure. I didn't take a close look at to see if there was like window change outs or anything else like that might affect the integrity of the building. But again, just kind of doing a windshield survey pass through, looked like it was primarily intact. And so again, for the history of this house, it was owned by Fred Zarski. He was a local member, a charter member of the Elks Lodge, which was established in 1919. They would have reunions every 10 years, which are documented in the Reflex, and he was one of the people who was celebrated at those gatherings. He actually was a restaurant owner, operator, and in the paper it kind of says, it's a funny, he had a very humble beginnings. He was listed as asking for a permit from the trustees to operate a lunch wagon out of a parking lot. So he was operating this lunch wagon, and then eventually the parking lot got redeveloped. And so he had to find another location. And so he moved into a storefront and then operated that restaurant for decades afterwards. He actually ran for city trustee unsuccessfully until in 1928. But there was a lot of candidates at the time, and there was there was a time that the city was booming. There was a lot of growth, and there was a lot of issues revolving whether the city was going to allow oil drilling, and so there was a lot of controversy. And he was right in the mix with all of that stuff. So it did show that he was a kind of an influential person in the city. The Reflex also documented his family history. It's interesting because it talked about times when the family were sick. And then later on, it talks about the son, Freddie Jr., when he's in high school, and they document his courtship with his girlfriend at the time, who he ended up being engaged to, and got married. It talks about how he went on to serve in the Navy, and he did 2 tours during the Korean conflict. And then he had a radio broadcast. And so they announced that. They said, "Oh, listen up, because your local boy is going to be on the radio at certain times." So all documented in the local paper. It was kind of neat, kind of interesting to see that. So with that, our recommendation is to go ahead and adopt the resolution to approve the local historic landmark designation for this property. Again, it is exemplary of a certain style that was built during this time period, and it is associated with a person of local significance. And because of that, we're recommending that it be designated as the Zarski residence for in honor of the original property owner. And I know that the applicant, again, and current property owners are on the call and may be willing to respond to questions or answer anything else that you may have.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Guardia. Sounds like Mr. Zarski was the first Redondo Beach food truck operator ahead of his generation.
Ahead of his time. Absolutely.
So now is the time to receive public input. And I do, as you mentioned, believe that the applicant is here to say a few words. So with those in favor, please step forward, or I believe there's a raise your hand function. And provide your name, address for the record, and please tell us what you have to say. Yes, Mr. Rush.
I just want to say thank you to Antonio. That was great. I didn't even know all that.
Cool.
So it was really cool to listen to. Antonio, thank you for all the homework, and appreciate the work you've done with us on this, and ready for any questions the commissioners may have.
Are there any others here that are in favor? Yes, Ms. Cunningham. You're still muted.
Lower corner.
How about now?
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Hi, guys. It's been so long. My name's Brianna Cunningham. I'm the designer on the project, and I'm, of course, in favor of the project. And I'm here also to answer any questions. And I realize that I realized that. Sorry. I realized that when we were doing the oath. I was doing it, I promise, but my camera wasn't on. So.
Well, thank you very much. Are there any others here in favor of this item? And are there any here that are opposed to this item?
And Chair Caldwell, this is Analyst Portalesi. During the meeting, we're also monitoring what's called e-comments, which can be live during the meeting through the website. So I want to confirm as well that no e-comments have been received on this either way. So there's no other public comment coming in at the moment.
Perfect. All right. Well, judging that we've received all of the public comments, both electronic and those for the participants, is there a motion to close the public participation?
I make
a motion.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Morse. Is there a second?
Second the motion.
Are there any objections? Hearing none. Does the commission have any questions or comments regarding the application? Seeing and hearing none, we shall entertain a motion. Is there a commissioner that would like to make a motion?
Sure. Before we make a motion, I just want to make one comment that I did notice on the site visit, the one window in particular was swapped out with a slider, and there is a condition of approval that any windows be of character and design compatible with and in character with the original design. So we wanted to make sure that that the windows would be, that window in particular be swapped out at some point with something that's more appropriate to the architectural style of the house. And again, that's included in your resolution as one of the conditions of approval.
Yeah, I understood we're going to be replacing the aluminums with wood windows.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion?
I just have one other question. Now we're looking to landmark this, right? So I guess the question I have is that and this is for your benefit also. I guess it's Mr. and Mrs. Rush. Is that there is some degree of urgency that we going forward would need to, from time to time, verify that the property was being maintained. Would you feel uncomfortable at all if we contacted you at some point and just affirmed that that was the case?
No problem at all. Are you talking about in the future or in the next prior to approval?
No, it would be. This is more of since we're moving forward and we're going kind of backwards in contacting people to to not to enforce it so much as to verify that because you are getting tax breaks and so forth, is that there is some degree of responsibility on our part that we are doing this. So it's nothing punitive, so to speak, and hopefully, from what we've seen, everything looks great. But in the past, we just never did this, and so I think that if you know this up front, again, it's nothing of any major consequence other than maybe at some point somebody would contact you and come out and you'd take them on a tour of your house and show us how beautiful it was.
Yeah, we're completely on board with that, and it's been a while since you saw the addition, but the addition was designed in the theme of the house, carrying through the architecture, and the existing windows wouldn't match, and so we understand that there's a certain amount of responsibility and upkeep to maintain the house in the style that it is, in its original style. But when we were at the meeting before, we still get a plaque though, so we're gonna
Yeah.
I really want the plaque.
Absolutely, and I didn't mean to upstage you, Antonio, but I thought this would be a good time to start this process, just so that we that we're going forward in a positive direction.
Yeah, that's a very good point that you bring up, because we do have that subcommittee which we're supposed to launch and do our annual inspections of. So I'm glad that you brought it up. It is something that we will be undertaking in the future.
But congratulations, pre-congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time.
I did want to say one quick thing. We are family friends of the Sarski's daughter, I guess the granddaughter, and the house is really important to us, and it's kind of a family house to us as well.
Okay, that's great.
Thank you.
That's great.
Thanks, guys.
Does the commission have any other questions or comments? Seeing and hearing none. Is there a motion to approve the staff recommendation?
I'd like to make a motion to approve it.
Thank you, Commissioner Jackson. Is there a second?
I'll
I second that.
I think I heard Commissioner Morse first.
Okay.
So we shall do a roll call vote. Excuse me, Commissioner Morse,
Aye.
Commissioner Matsuno,
Aye.
Commissioner Jackson,
Aye.
and Chair Caldwell. Aye. So congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes, and thank you for beautifying Redondo Beach. It looks great.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So moving to the next item, we do have item number I2. And again, is there a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to open a public hearing.
I'll
Is
second.
there? Thank you very much. A motion and second have been made to open the public hearing. Are there any objections? Hearing none, so ordered. And Ms. Kinsella, are you providing the staff report on this?
I am. Good evening.
Good evening.
This is a landmark designation and certificate of appropriateness for the potential historic resource at 519 South Francisca Avenue. The subject site is located on the western side of South Francisca, just east of PCH. It's a C+ rated craftsman bungalow resource, and it's zoned R1 single family residential. The house was built around 1924 per the LA County Assessor. The house is 1,612 square feet, and the garage is 367 square feet. The detached garage at the rear was probably built later than the house. However, our building records are unclear. Permits were issued in 2001 for a rear addition, a new deck, and a re-roof. Because this is a downsloping lot, the main front elevation has remained unchanged. So with those permits that were issued in 2001, those remain behind and below the main residence. This area has several potential historic resources that are similar to this structure. Thus, the house maintains its context and could be a contributing member to a future historic district. The residence is approximately 96 years old. You can see that it's a craftsman bungalow style, which was the most popular style during the early development of the city. Such features include heavy wood trim and siding, open-ended gables, and here you can see the prominent front entry porch. Very residents have lived here over the years. You have the Gargan family that was from 1927 to 1936. In 1947, the Bruno family came here, and by 1963, the Newman family lived here. I do want to note that the Redondo Reflex called out the Gargan family several times. Mrs. Gargan was heavily involved in various women's groups, and Mr. Gargan was also involved in lodge activities. The scope of work is focused on the rear of the house, thus the proposed massing is away from that front facade. Because of the downsloping block configuration, the street level floor is actually the second story. The second story addition will be 133 square feet. It will expand the family room and the kitchen westward. The exterior deck stairs will be shifting to the northern side of the deck. The first story addition will be 95 square feet. It will move bedroom 2 westward to accommodate a walk-in closet and an expanded bathroom. The addition spaces will have 4-inch exterior siding as opposed to the existing 3-inch siding on the original home. The original windows will remain intact, while the new windows will also be similar in style. They'll be wood and they will also have wood trim. The property is about 96 years old and does reflect a style of architecture very popular during the early development of the city. There are several homes within this area, thus this is a potential future historic district. The project does meet the Secretary of Interior standards. It shows differentiated siding for the new portions of the home. The additions will be compatible to the original, and the original residence will remain intact. I suggest that we name this the Gargan House for the earliest known residents, and they're also heavily involved within the community. Staff recommends that the Commission make the findings in the draft resolution, adopt the exemption declaration, and approve the applications for the property at 519 South Francisca Avenue. I do know that the applicant and the homeowners are here and available if you have questions.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Kinsella. Would those in favor please raise your hand, and we will call on you individually to speak in favor of this application. And
Maybe
on
they
mine,
really good.
I don't see them.
Yeah, I don't see if Jessica or Alberto want to speak, this is your opportunity.
This is Zach and Jessica. We're on, but the administrator won't let us start our video. We look good though, I promise.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but we appreciate you guys considering. We love the home. This is our first Craftsman home. We've been in Redondo Beach for over 10 years, but we are definitely sold on the historical homes. Love what you guys are doing. David, if you want to come on by and check it out as we're working, there's always a cold cocktail here for you. It's an awesome home and an awesome district too. There's 4-5 other houses on the block that have the same beach bungalow style. So it's been fun for us living here, and regardless of the district rating, we're all in on the style. So it's been good.
We owned a home in North Redondo, and we fell in love with the character of this home because those were all like kind of track style, and so we just loved like the little windows and the trim and everything. And we love Redondo. I'm a teacher for Redondo, and our kids go here, and so we're lifers.
Well, we love the people that love Redondo. So thank you very much. I have to ask, is there anybody else here to speak in favor of the project? And do I see, let me scroll through.
I think I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Hi, good evening. My name is Alberto Juarez. I'm the one of the principals at Novum Architecture, and I'm the project designer working with the Bairds. And Stacy, thank you very much for that report. Very detailed report. And yeah, just to reiterate what's on the report, in a nutshell, when we started this design, the Bairds, like they just mentioned, they were, one of the reasons they bought this home is because of the Craftsman architecture. So from the very beginning, that was very important. And so we discussed the fact that whatever we do here, whatever proposal we do, whatever addition we do, we want to make sure that it doesn't look like an addition, that it looks like it's part of the original house. So, keeping in line with all the details, the Craftsman details, the overhangs, the window trims, the clip on the gable, all those things, we feel keep the architecture consistent with the Craftsman style. And, we're hoping to get the approval tonight from you guys and get ready to submit to the building department. So thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
And thank you. So having heard from all those that are in favor already, may I ask if there's anybody here that opposes the project? I do not see or hear anybody.
And
Okay.
Chair Caldwell, this is Analyst Portalesi again. Just want to confirm we have no e-comments on this item either as well.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, then, is there a motion to close the public participation?
Also,
Just with the exception of asking that same question,
If we could just have 1 second, let's close the public participation portion. And
All
then we'll, is there a second to close the public participation? Yes, thank you, Commissioner Morse. Are there any objections? Hearing none, it is so ordered. And now, of course, does the commission have any questions or comments? Commissioner Jackson.
I was just going to ask the same question I asked of the previous couple, that going forward, would you have any objection on a periodic basis for someone to come out and just meet with you and just to verify that you are maintaining the residence and that you can show us that you are, and that it's just part of getting the tax breaks and the things that go along with being landmarked. And it's again, I want to stress, it's not punitive, but it's something that we're required to do. And this process that I'm trying to do here tonight would just make it a lot easier in the future, so that it's not a surprise and you don't think it's something that's going to be a difficult matter. It shouldn't be difficult at all. It should be real friendly, and you should be able to show off your property. So do you think would you have any issue with that?
Anytime, David. Come on by.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you guys are always welcome. Yeah, we're prepared to fulfill those responsibilities. Yeah.
Thank you.
Are there any further questions or comments from the commission? I guess just on behalf of my wife, I think I should point out that it's pretty exciting to get an extended walk-in closet and additional bathroom space. I think my wife would be very supportive of that, so I will be in support of this. Is there a motion to approve the staff recommendation? Do I hear a motion?
Jeffrey's said.
Commissioner Morse, and is there a second from Commissioner?
I'll second.
So I've got to scroll through them. Commissioner Matsuno, thank you very much for the second. And so we shall move into a roll call vote. Commissioner Morse.
Aye.
Aye, thank you very much. Commissioner Matsuno.
Aye.
Commissioner Jackson.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye as well. So thank you very much, and good luck to you with your new home, or new improved home. So we'll now move on to item J, items from previous agendas.
Congratulations.
Unfinished business.
Oh.
We do not have any unfinished business.
Okay. Are there items for discussion prior to action for new business? And there is one item here, a discussion and possible action on Preservation Commission input related to development of goals and objectives for the city's strategic plan.
Yes, I do have a presentation, and again, this is an item for went to the recommendation right away. So the strategic plan. This is something that came before you. If you remember back in February, Council Member Horvath gave a presentation as to why they were looking at the 10-year strategic plan and the goals and objectives and trying to break those down into more achievable timeframes with specific benchmarks or milestones, and wanted to bring these items to the different commissions for their input, and gave the presentation. We then brought it back in March for more discussion. You looked at the three different options, felt that the third option was too lengthy or unwieldy, so you wanted to get that narrowed down, and your recommendation was to kind of consolidate or prioritize those goals. Sorry, there you go. So that's kind of in a nutshell what happened in those two meetings. We were supposed to bring back the letter at the April meeting, but again, with COVID-19, we had to cancel all those meetings. And so we're finally, now that we're able to meet, we're bringing this back to you tonight for review and approval. So recommendation is to go ahead and receive and file and finalize and approve the recommendation letter to the City Council, which is attached to your staff report, to your agenda packet.
And thank you very much, Mr. Guardia. Does the commission have any questions or comments? Hearing and seeing none, staff's recommendation is to receive and file the report and finalize and approve the recommendation letter to City Council. Is there a motion?
Also move.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Matsuno. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Jackson. So with that, we'll move to a roll call vote. And we have Commissioner Morse.
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Matsuno.
Aye.
Commissioner Jackson.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye as well. So moving on to item L, subcommittee reports. My understanding is probably that none of those subcommittees have met, as the commission has not met, but if there are any reports, please let me know.
I will share that the minor alteration subcommittee has been able to meet over Zoom. We actually had 3 different meetings.
Wow.
During our safer at home time. Back in April, we approved a garage conversion, actually the property at 519 South Francisca, the one that was heard tonight, because they couldn't move forward with their public hearing item and that was on hold. They processed for the accessory dwelling unit within the detached garage, which is allowed per the state. So we actually processed that back in April and they were able to move forward through plan check for that. Back in June, 709 South Broadway came forward. They had a skylight revision to the remodel addition project that was previously approved by the commission. Because the skylight was visible from the street view, I felt it important for the subcommittee to take a look at that. And then just last week on August 26th, we reviewed 724 North Irena, which is a local historic landmark. They wanted to make some revisions to their previously approved accessory dwelling unit, also in the detached garage. That's very popular right now.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to hear how busy everybody's been with regard to that. Does any member of the commission have any questions or comments?
Okay.
Hearing none. We'll move on to commission items and referrals to staff. And I do not hear any items from staff.
Just to let you know, I've been sending out educational items via email so we can attempt to stay fresh. And this also counts towards our certified local government annual training that's required for the state. Also, we have a landmark designation and certificate of appropriateness that's cooking for 228 Avenue E. So we're hoping to have that on your next agenda. The City Council did approve resolutions stating that this commission, among other commissions, will be every other month. So we will not be convening again until November.
Okay. And last but not least is adjournment. But before we do that, I did want to say thank you very much to staff, as well as all of the other staff members here in the city of Redondo Beach. Obviously, with COVID-19, things are not easy, but I'm, as a resident, and I guess as a commissioner, I'm very pleased to see that the city seems to be moving forward on a lot of different fronts. It seems like a lot is getting done, and I think there's a lot of positive things happening in Redondo Beach despite the current crisis, really. And so it's great to see. It's great to see everybody walking around and being active outside, walking on the opposite sides of the streets, and everybody's wearing a mask. So thank you very much to staff and everybody involved in keeping this place, I think, a great city to live in. So is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
Yes, thank you very much, Commissioner Matsuno. Is there a second?
I second that.
Yes, thank you, Commissioner Morse. And seeing and hearing no objection, we shall adjourn. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Jim. And
Thank
you.
you.
See you all in November.
In all November.
Thank you all. Have a nice
Bye.
evening.
Stay safe.